In this video we're going to talk about our cat, and we're going to move it left and right and then up and down. The way we're going to use the blocks for walking and moving is almost going to be the same no matter what you do in Scratch. So I would really pay attention to this video to learn the basics of how to get blocks to move your character and do everything else, whether it's shooting, hitting other characters, jumping, or whatever you need your game to do. When I start my programming, I always put a green flag here. And what I'm going to do is let's make some mistakes together so that you can see how simple it is to make mistakes, but even more important, how easy it is to fix those mistakes. So for example, when the flag is clicked, I want our character to move 10 steps. And you can see that works straight away, but it's not really a good way to play a game because I have to keep clicking the start button. So what we should do is actually make it so that when I press a key on my keyboard, our character moves. So let's do that right now. So for example, if I go to the sensing, I can have a when the key is pressed. So I'll do the right arrow here and I want it to move, but you can see that the blocks don't go together. So what we have to now do is figure out how to make all these blocks fit together so that it does what we want it to do. In this case, what I'm going to do is I've already got the flag. I now need to go to control, which I would say is the most important set of blocks. This orange section is the most important section in Scratch. I always grab a forever and an if. And in this way you can control almost everything in your game. I'm going to drop the right arrow inside that shape there, and you can see the shapes match, and then put the 10 steps over there. Now when I click the green flag, you can see it stays on. And if I press the right key on my keyboard, you can see the cat moves. Now what we're going to do really quickly is put another if, go back to sensing, put in a key, and this time change it to left arrow, go back to motion, and now what we're going to say is move -10, which is the opposite of right. I'm going to press stop, I'm going to press the green flag again, and you can see that I have a character which moves left and right. It's very smooth and it's really easy to do. You can see that I've only used a few blocks to get all of this done. Now what we can do is if we find that our cat is moving too fast, we can change the numbers so that they're not so big. So in this case, you can see that my character moves much slower. And also, if you were to make the numbers really big, you would see that our character moves really fast. I'm going to make the numbers back to 10 because that kind of works in Scratch really well, like this. And here we have a character that moves left and right. It's not moving up and down because we didn't tell Scratch how to do that yet. So let's get right to it. Let's go to our control and add 2 more ifs, like this. Let's go to our sensing and add 2 more keys, like this and this. This is going to be the up arrow and this is going to be the down arrow. I'm going to put them with the other controls there. Now what I need to do is figure out how to move it up and down. And this is where normally we run into problems. Because move is left and right or front and back, there is no up and down. So in this case what we need to do is go nearer the bottom and see that there's a bunch of controls that controls both the left and the right and the up and down. So in this case, just to be brave, I'm going to take the move and the move out of the left and right and actually do it as a change X and change X for the left and right. So we've got change X by 10 for right arrow and change X by -10 for the left arrow. Now if you know how to draw a graph, you know that your X-axis goes from left to right and your Y-axis goes from top to bottom. So for this one, what I'm going to do is when you press the up arrow, Y is going to change by 10. And now, if you press the down arrow, Y will change by -10. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got a really cool character that can move up and down, left and right. And you notice if I press my keys together, he even moves both up and down and left and right at the same time, which is really cool. This can be the start of any game that you're making. And if you have a look at the blocks, you can see that it's really easy to set up a left, right, up and down movement for your character.